我没有初恋，初恋同时。
There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Komplex and Friends. I'm your host, Komplex Mothra, the devil lifting omens himself. That is a KO to the MP, and I can't even spell the rest. It takes too long, but I digress. I am joined here by Tiny Tim. Tim, you want to introduce yourself?
All right. I'm Tiny Tim TJ. TJ stands for whatever you want it to. Just an underground horrorcore artist who's doing things, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. You just released Nuclear Winter a little
I
while
did.
ago.
Masterpiece.
Yes,
There
it
we go.
is. I'm a little biased. I'm on it.
That's my baby right there.
Yeah. I heard you're working on something else too.
Ooh, I got some announcements coming for sometime later in the night.
Okay.
Monster.
Yeah. That opened mine, but I got sleep. I got to record in the morning and get ready for work and all that.
Yeah, well, I got to pursue my educational prowess, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I know as soon as I want to go to sleep, kicks in. And just, I suddenly want to record an album.
Let me record She Likes My Memes too. Speaking of recording, we're recording new episodes every Tuesday night. It's simulcast on YouTube and on my personal Facebook. So if you're a Facebook friend of mine, this is what I do outside of work. The to be announced is right here, obviously. We got Aiden from 618 coming in next week. And after that, we have my little brother who goes by the name of Sober Till I Relapse. I'm not going to reveal his government name until the next episode when I'm trolling him. But, you know, if you know who he is, you know who he is. Obviously, your boy's got a few things he's got to say too. Usurpers, corporate greed is coming up eventually. I don't know how long eventually is going to take. Chat said something. Let me peep that real quick. What's up, Arch? Usurpers, corporate greed. We're working on that right now. I don't know when it's coming out. I can't give you a date. It's in pre-production. So take that as you will. And if you want to book me, booking for all sorts of events is right here. You can DM me on Instagram. My manager currently is, well, he's going through a lot. So I'm just like, I'll take whatever responsibilities you need me to do.
Yeah.
So corporate shilling out of the way. How are you doing?
Not okay, but all right. How are you, man?
Kind of in the same boat. Trying.
Yeah. Well, dude, because of, personal things that you know about and personal things that the public knows about, literally all I've done is just record for the past 3 days.
Right.
Pretty much all I've done. Literally all I can say about the situation right now is I'm not okay, but I'm all right. I'm not hurt by what happened anymore. I've accepted it, but it's still just a kink in my chest.
Yeah. And obviously, I've been through it. Everyone's my age, at least, has been through it. So it's one of those things where that first hit is going to hit you hard, but you're going to find someone else.
Hopefully, man.
Yeah.
Life is short, but hey, my life's been short.
Right.
I got a whole new pain to go through. Taxes.
Oh no, that's one of my least favorite pains. That and dealing with the bank.
Usurpers, corporate greed.
Yeah.
All
right. Anything you want to start off with talking about, or do you want to go straight to the wheel, or how do you want to do this? This is every time I do Komplex and Friends, this is their show. Whoever's on his show.
Well, I suppose all I can say is before we start, I hope you all have enjoyed Nuclear Winter so far. I'm announcing something towards. I don't care whenever I want to announce it. It's my album. I'll do what I want. So,
Right.
Go ahead and start the reel.
All right, let me get the wheel. If I can
Reel.
figure it out. This is my least favorite part of the night because every time I share my screen, I have to unshare it next time I need to use it. Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money, big money.
Big money, big money, big money.
We'll leave that one till next time. Not next time, but like later on in the night. That's a big question.
I love gambling.
Yeah, so do I. Don't gamble, kid. Musical inspirations.
All right. God, I've been so waiting for somebody to ask me about my musical inspirations in a podcast. So, my personal musical inspirations, obviously, the Insane Clown Posse. Always ride or die,
Yeah.
pretty much any formal or current psychopathic signee has inspired me in some way. I mean, even the lesser known ones like Cold 187, Zug Island, like, well, I don't want to say unknown, but they're no Insane Clown Posse, but they still have given me more inspiration than I think I can ever learn how to deal with. Obviously, everybody at the L. Them's my brothers and sisters right there. Got to meet most of them at the float. They're even better people in person, bro. I'll tell you what.
That's what's up. I've never met them. I've never really talked to any of them. So
I have.
That's what's up.
Interviewing in music will go you a long way. Trying to think of anybody else I can really say I'm inspired by. There's a whole lot. I mean, even just Jelly Roll. Just he helps me gain confidence in my singing voice, especially because the man was a rapper too. Like, the man was just a kid from I'm not from Nashville, but the man was just a kid from Nashville, and now look where he's at.
Right.
I don't hope to reach the level of fame that Jelly Roll has, because he played his cards right. I want to play my cards right, but I want to stick to where I'm at.
Right. That's fair. I mean, I compare that to what Nate said last episode. My boy Nate basically said, I don't want to shoot up and hit fame. Even like fame is what he basically said. He wants to get his fan base, get it right. He doesn't want to like hit the levels of a Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh yeah, I want to make my name. I want to be known by the underground. I don't want people to just be recognized. Oh man, you're Tiny Tim TJ.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else. Like, I want to keep where I'm at, but I also do want to, build up my name.
Yeah. And that is an aspiration that most underground artists I know have. I pretty much the same. Around the local area, people basically say I'm just the Juggalo. I've heard a few people say, so it's one of those things where it's like, they know who I am. I don't want to get to the point where it's like everyone. That's great, Gianna. Yeah. Yeah, little sister. I don't know if anyone heard it, but yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get to that level where it's like, okay, cool. I'm at Mother's Cupboard out in Syracuse eating a frittata. Hey, Komplex, can you take a picture with my kid?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Just like, I don't want to be one of. I mean, I'm already known by a whole lot of people in my town, but you know what? I'm glad that people don't recognize me when I'm out of town. Like, oh man, you're Tiny Tim TJ. Like,
right.
I don't know. I'm still at that little awkward phase where it's like, I don't really know how to take people recognizing me unless I've known you for so. Like, if you're a stranger and you're just gonna be like, "Hey, are you Tiny Tim TJ?" Yes. Man,
Right.
I love your music. Thank you.
No, I feel that because that's happened to me 2 or 3 times actually. it's been really weird because one time I was just at the fair and I thought, hey, I should throw on some face paint. I might see someone I recognize, someone I didn't know. Now we're pretty close. Now we're friends. Was like, the Juggalo man is real. Points at me. The Juggalo man is real and walks up to me. I'm like, hi.
Well, I mean, just if I'm at a show, if I'm performing, or if just I'm at a show in the first place, and you come to be like, "What's up, Tiny Tim? What's up, bro?" You know, like,
Yeah.
But if you see my face and you recognize this mess of hair that I have, and you're just a stranger that comes up and be like, "Oh man, are you Tiny Tim TJ?" Yes.
Right.
It's just, it's just kind of awkward to. It's just awkward for people to know my name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I do indeed love when, even if it's just like once a year or a month or anything like that, any any uh any recognition I get is, I like it. I'm glad that I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. Let me see what chat is saying. Click into
Just Aiden from 618 saying shout out to me. Thank you. Beep.
I already did that. I already shouted him out. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about musical inspiration. You mind if I go through mine? Because Nate was kind of like, yeah, no, cool, whatever. This is mine. Go away. Okay. I wonder who I could be talking about when I have half of my face silver and half of it in clown paint.
Oh man, I wonder.
Yeah, fucking wonder. ICP. A lot of the local guys I really look up to. Names that people probably wouldn't recognize, like outside of the area. Like I listen to a lot of Zach G, a lot of R&B, some Lojo Sly, and yeah. It's one of those things where it's obligatory for me to shout them out because I know that they'll see this. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're not in the area, you might not know who they are.
Right. If you don't know who Tiny Tim TJ is in the southern Arkansas area, consider yourself an op. Like,
right.
No. If you know who I am, cool. If you don't know who I am, well, welcome to my fan base, I guess.
A lot of people know who I am at this point. I've been doing it for 5 years, so I'm not unknown. It's just more like, keep little Johnny away from me sort of deal is how they treat me.
Oh yeah. I don't like this clown.
Right.
Either way. Beep.
What's up?
I told you. I said beep.
Oh,
I told
beep,
you. I'm
beep.
telling you with that all night.
Yeah, it's great.
It's your trademark at this point.
Oh, it really is. I was in therapy and my mother was like, you're gonna get actual studio time, or are you just gonna let it beep in all your songs?
Mom, it's my trademark. I have to.
Right.
And I think there was one other thing that you said was like that, like, is in every single one of your songs. Beep. It's the smoke alarm beep, and what else did you say?
Something about something about either adjacent or saying one of the lines that I say a lot.
I've heard Sudafed in a lot of your songs. A lot of your songs.
That was that's a newer thing, actually.
No, really?
Yeah. I just like the bar, so I used it a lot.
Right.
Same thing with the I'm an evil bastard, make you kill yourself backwards. That's a shout out to two different people. Well, Fleshroy Leak is 3 people, but like 4 different people in one bar.
Right.
So.
Love some Fleshroy Leak.
Yes.
Or however you pronounce it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they the doc actually gave me my first show. outside of a live stream on Facebook. So I'm forever grateful for him, even though I've been, pretty much a dick.
Yeah, they're all good guys.
Yeah.
I love them. I got love for them. Just underground. Underground has given me so much more love than mainstream probably ever will. Because
Right.
I'm going to go into a little bit of just more of my opinions here. And I've wanted to talk about this, and I'm glad that we actually brought up underground versus mainstream. Mainstream is a looks game. So all these people like, I'm not going to pull up names because, I don't want people screaming at me in my DMs like, man, you dissed my favorite artist. First of all,
They don't know who you are. Second of all,
first
they're
of
on.
all,
Right. Second of all, they're on Lucian Grange's payroll. So
exactly. First of all, they're getting paid by Disney. Leave me alone. They're making more money than I'll ever see in my life. But I feel like the mainstream especially is more of an attractivity game. That's why you see so many people with like these huge assets in the music scene, because like it's more of how you look versus how good your music actually is. Like Disney Records ain't signing this. Like Disney Records
they
is
signed
gonna sign
ICP.
I mean, for a little while, but like
Right.
they immediately tried to censor them because one bad they had that bad word in it.
Yeah.
Like it like Disney Records is gonna be more, like labels like that are gonna be more drawn to people like Ice Spice or Cardi B, or like attractive and good sounding people, but people that don't necessarily make good music. And that's why I'm, I love the underground, because, well, I mean, first of all, I can be the ugliest person in the world and get love in the underground versus
I already am.
which is the mainstream world, where it's gonna like murder me if I don't look like a supermodel,
Right.
And I mean, even in like in the world of like Hollywood and acting, you're gonna have to be more attractive if you want to get yourself in like a big game movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody is putting me in the next Avengers film. Like I just keep reverting
They're not?
back to me. No, I'm not playing in Avengers 5, unfortunately. So sorry, y'all. I know it's a disappointing announcement. Either way, though, I really just feel like the mainstream it's just an attractivity game. Like people are going to be more drawn to people who look good versus people who sound good.
Right.
You can sound as good as you want. Your music can be the most lyrical genius ever. But if you don't give that attractivity filter that people want to see these days to reflect the fact that they probably look like a dumpster fire, you're not going to get as much love, especially in the mainstream scene. But when you dig a little bit to the underground, you're going to find people who look like us,
Right.
and we might not be the most attractive scene, but we got some good music. Okay.
We do.
At least give us that.
I mean, I've been waiting to use this all day because my Party City right near the house is going out of business, so I picked this up. Congrats to the underground being some of the best music you ever heard in your life. And it's not working. Great. I'm going to grab the other one.
Party City.
Party City? Party City really doesn't love me anymore.
Wow. It's like a Tinder date.
Those never loved me.
Oh.
At least Party City pretended.
Oh, yeah. I made a joke at the gathering because we were gonna do Fake Armageddon, and there was this one guy in like this holographic jacket, so sticky. I'm not gonna call back in the morning, like just little jokes like that. They're beautiful. And thank you for Aiden from 618 giving me a lot of love. And yeah, Dude, there is a lot of division in the underground. Unfortunately,
Mm.
that not everybody's gonna agree with each other. Like, sometimes in the mainstream world, people just kind of gotta put up with each other, but not in the underground.
Right.
Like, beefs will ruin careers in the
It
underground.
ruined mine.
You're not gonna make it out alive. Sorry.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank God I have not. Thank God I've successfully avoided beef for the 2 years that I've been in music. Thank everything.
That's what's up.
Either way, I'm just happy to have. I'm happy to have met all the people that I would have met, because without music, oh man, my life would be drastically different. I'll say that right now. Beep. Shout out to all those labels: Psychopathic, Magic Ninja, Chapter 17, Long Live Evil, and Lyrical Snuff Productions. There you go.
Yep.
And, even labels that are more mainstream now, like Subnoise, Strange.
Think about
Let me see.
Force 5.
I want to say G59. Suicide Boys performed at the Gathering a couple times.
Yeah, you can say G5 now.
They're down. They're
Yeah.
there's a lot of people are certainly down. I don't feel like they truly understand the culture, but they are down, and that's what I like to see. Like Hypnotized Minds, 3-6 Mafia, man, they were ICP's best buddies for a little bit,
Yeah.
And I mean, a couple other labels that you mentioned in there, Aiden, they were really good friends with Psychopathic for a long while as well, but that goes back to the division.
Yeah. That's why it's on the wheel.
Yeah, I can't.
But if you want to not talk about it, I'll take it off the wheel.
Oh, no. I can go ahead and talk about it because, I'm going to get flamed either way for it, because we all have our own opinions about it, and these new age juggalos are going to say, nah, man, you still listen to Twisted in 2025? Yeah, I do, because I like the nostalgia. I will say this about Twisted. I don't like their new music. I don't. I can't get into some of it. The last album that I genuinely liked from Twisted was probably either The Darkness or Unlikely Prescription.
That's actually, when you said Unlikely Prescription, that's one of those things where it's like, that's gonna make people like, I'm a Twizzler. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I am like a full-on Twizzler. Unlikely Prescription in the Twisted community is one of those albums that we don't like.
Oh man, are you serious?
Yeah.
Man. Oh, that's something weird to hear. But like, I don't know. Yeah, Aiden, you're completely right. New music from Twisted and M&E as a whole is a hit or miss. Like, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't like Young Wicked. I don't like Young Wicked's music at all. I don't. It's just it's so bad. I like his choruses, but I just hate the direction he's been going. Dude, you changed your name 5 times since you left Psychopathic. Okay.
To be fair, Snoop Dogg did the same thing.
Okay, he removed one word from his name. Snoop Doggy Dog to Snoop Dogg is better.
He was Snoop Lion for a while.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. Well, it's better than Otis, Young Wicked, James Garcia, Otis again. Whatever he's going by now, I guess. Like Sticky Majiki, I don't know. Like, the man could literally be going by anything right now.
Wait, did you say Sticky Majiki? I gotta write that down.
Sticky Majiki. But I will say this. I did enjoy the HOK album. It was really good. I will say. I enjoy albums where they go back to rap, like Chainsmoker 2. Chainsmoker 2 legendary album. Okay, I will say it. Even with blatant ICP disses in that album,
Yes.
phenomenal record. Okay. I did like some songs in Unlikely Prescription. I will say it. I don't care if I get flamed. I liked Mad Season quite a bit. I liked Generation Nightmare. It was all right. I really, really liked Triple Threat. I liked Independence Day, and just anything from beyond that point I was a fan of. But just their new albums like Glyph, the Time Capsules, and man, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm sorry, Twisted. You know I got love for you guys, but like Welcome to Your Funerals, it's probably gonna be a miss, honestly. I mean, they've already revealed like 60% of it. So when you reveal that much of an album, you kind of get a scope of if it's good or not. And
Yeah.
the songs from Welcome to Your Funeral that they revealed they're pretty disappointing.
Yes.
But I will say this. I really, really like some other artists on M&E. I'm still a gigantic fan of Blaze. I'm really getting into Gmo Ski. Like, and obviously,
that's a surpriser.
And obviously, you know, Lex. But Lex isn't M&E, he's LSP, and
He's LSP,
you know what? That change shocked me, honestly. Like, you go from one of the biggest labels in the underground to another biggest label in the underground. Like, I feel like that was more of like just a power move.
I think that was a trade. Somebody had to be traded for Lex.
Oh yeah.
Like they had the draft and everything. Oh.
They traded Lex for another certain artist that I'm not a huge fan of that I won't say.
Okay.
AXE. Oh man, I love AXE. Okay. Till we meet one of my top 5 singles of 2024. Okay. It's not like I'm just a hater of everybody on the Magic Ninja roster.
Mm-hmm.
Just they aren't really going the direction that all of us know. You know? Like Aiden's got a good point. The new Twisted doesn't sound like Twisted at all. They don't.
They play them on Sirius XM all the time. I'm listening to Turbo with my dad because he likes the heavy metal. He's like, "Have you heard of these Twisted guys?" I'm like, "Those were us."
Yes, we've heard of those Twisted guys. They used to make some of the dopest rap music I ever heard in my life. But on Psychopathic side, I feel like when that divide happened, Psychopathic lost something that made it Psychopathic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with the success the Psychopathic's got going on right now, but just with Ouija releasing 7 albums this year, and ICP dropping 5 songs that were all exclusive to some kind of show, there's a little bit of one-sidedness that I gotta understand. MNE, they dropped 8 albums this year. A couple of them were pretty subpar, but it's better than Psychopathic being literally carried by Ouija Mac. Like, I love Psychopathic. I've loved Psychopathic from the moment I was born. But they've kind of lost the thing that's made them Psychopathic as a label. They're great as a collective, and they're great as a representation.
Mm-hmm.
But as a label, it's never really worked for ICP. The label thing has never gone good for ICP.
Right.
Jay was talking in an interview a little while back about how everybody that he developed on Psychopathic betrayed him. And a lot of us were just like, dude, there's a certain level of favoritism that goes down to it. The reason that Twisted left Psychopathic in the first place was all because of there was just favoritism that was going on there. And I get it. Psychopathic Records is your record label. You're proud of it. You want them to promote you. But understand, you got other artists on your label. Please promote the other artists on your label. And Psychopathic, they still don't promote Ouija. They don't. They have not promoted any one of his albums this year. It's all either Chapter 17. What's up?
Do you
They
know
promote
who Psychopathic's been promoting other than ICP?
Wacko.
Whack. I got my
I
own
asked,
problems with Wacko.
I do too. But I asked him. This is official confirmation from Wacko the Kid that I got myself. I was talking to him on his Instagram live. I was like, "Hey, you officially signed a Psychopathic, fam?" And he was like, "All right, my deal with Psychopathic Records. Jay pretty much told me if you put the hatchet on all you do, we'll put you on all the stuff we do." So he's on Psychopathic as a collective.
That's what
And
the deal with Twisted was supposed to be when M&E was first formed, though.
yeah, and Twisted got like the mega contract, the contract that artists don't really get on labels. AMB, the reason they're not Axe Murder Boys anymore is because Psychopathic owns that name, whether they like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But Twisted, they got their royalties, they got their albums, they got to keep their name, they got the golden contract, which
They got the
artists
publishing.
which artists don't really get on labels.
Well, they got some of the publishing, but the statute of limitations has ran out. I'm going to go into a little rant of my own, and then we can go back to what you were saying. You know how Taylor Swift re-recorded all her albums?
Well,
that's what Twisted's about to do, because the statute of limitations on the publishing for the recordings has basically been like, okay, well, it's been 20 years. You can re-record everything, right?
Yeah. Somebody asked Monoxide on a live stream, "Hey, when are you going to put Most Tasteless on vinyl?" And Monoxide was like, "Straight up, when we own it."
Right.
They do not. Well, okay. The thing about Most Tasteless and a couple of their other earlier albums, Jay wrote most of that.
Yes.
Jay was like the ghostwriter for Psychopathic. He even still writes some of Shaggy's verses. And it's kind of difficult to hear about, but like, Shaggy mostly does his own stuff now. He's figured out how to write. But even like Bang Pow Boom era, Jay was writing some of Shaggy's verses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird to see, but also you got to think, Jay is like the big daddy. Like, he wants to control everything. He wants things to be in his hand, and he doesn't like when things leave his hand.
Right.
Now, I am a younger Juggalo, but I was born in like prime family era. I was born before Bang Pow Boom came out. And I like to brag that I was born when the original 6 was still the only ones. I was born on May 13th, 2009. Bang Pow Boom Blue and Green and Red came out on September 1st, 2009. So I was technically born in like prime family era. But here's the thing. I didn't know about the split until 2022. I even asked my dad, hey dad, where are like Twisted and everybody at these gatherings? And dad was like, "Oh yeah, they left Psychopathic like a long time ago." And my heart like broke.
Right.
I was just like, "What? You're telling me that I don't pay attention for like 4 years and all of a sudden everybody hates each other now?" Man.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That was pretty much.
Yeah, I came in through Ouija. I know a lot of people don't know this, but that's how I came into the culture, was through Trash Fire and Gutter Water, because those were the ones that were out at the time. Mm-hmm. I was trying to SoundCloud rap or whatever, and I was drawn to it. I learned everything I could about everything. I tried to, learn about all the different underground shit. And this was during the March. So part of me at that time was like, fuck Twisted. I'd never heard of Twisted.
Right.
And now it's just like, okay, whatever. I do my own thing. Why should I care about beef between grown men?
Right. Like, why should I have to hide my beliefs just so that I can be accepting of a culture that has changed so much in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Why should I have to go out and yell "screw Twisted" and then go listen to their music? Like, there's a certain double-sided to it that I don't think most people understand. Like, Twisted left psychopathic. ICP got really mad, but they still wanted to be friends with him. Twisted kind of ghosted ICP after a certain thing that happened. Twisted signed a certain person. ICP mad now. So anybody that affiliates with Twisted is now somehow drawn into the beef, and it's sad to think about, because what if I do a song with like Gmo Ski? Am I suddenly just a Twisted supporter? Do I suddenly just hate ICP and all the Juggalo? Am I suddenly just labeled as a Juff because I wanted to collab with somebody?
Right. I mean, to a lesser extent, or a greater extent, however you look at it, Little Pink. I know that name doesn't get thrown around in the Juggalo world very much anymore. I wanted, not a fan.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Okay.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Just can't get into him.
Yeah. If I do it, I'm using him as an example. If I do a song with Little Pink, I will never be able to show my face at the gathering.
Right. If I do a song with like Cody Manson, never showing my face at a gathering again. Never going to be able to. If I do a song with, I'll never do this. But if I even do a song with like Bones Dub, never showing my face at the gathering again, because I know that I'm going to get bombarded with, you're a Juff, we hate you, screw Twisted, ICP for life. And I'm like, what happened to the family that repped Dark Lotus? Magic Ninja, what? Like, what happened to that? It just hurts my soul. I watch that documentary that ICP did at the gathering. I think I don't know. They've done a lot of gathering documentaries, but I watched one. I think it's like their most famous one, and I saw people wearing Twisted t-shirts, and I was like, people did that?
Right.
People repped a family. The Juggalos were a family back then.
Right.
And my favorite part in that whole documentary is like Twist or something saying, "Oh yeah, man, this is a family. You're not gonna find some people like at the gathering." And then the very next scene is somebody like getting hit on the head with a stop sign.
Hey, it's a dysfunctional family, but it's still a family.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man, you're not gonna find anybody like the people at the gathering. Boom.
Bing.
Boom. He falls over. Like, it was hilarious. But yes, a family underground. Thank you. Okay, I was trying to think. Was it the Shockumentary? No. Thank you.
Shockumentary was about them in Detroit.
I know, but still, just the fact that the family has changed from 10 years ago to now, 2015, you were seeing performances by ICP, Twisted, the Axe Murder Boys, Blaze Ya Dead Homie, Boondocks, ABK, Ouija Mac, Big Hoodoo, Light, and all of it to round it out are the Psychopathic Riders and Dark Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get that anymore. We get ICP, Ouija, and, what's his name? Vampire dude.
Which vampire dude?
We get
Kung Fu?
What? What's his he performed at the gathering this year.
Kim Dracula?
Yes. We get Kim Dracula and Skits Craven at the gatherings now. That's who they're getting on this gathering.
Hey, and soon enough they'll be able to get me.
It's not even a factor of like, are you actually down with the Juggalo scene? ICP, they have almost no say in who gets to play at the gathering. Little known fact. Because the gathering is not a psychopathic event. It is a ninjas in action event. So it is not ICP who is booking these shows. It's Jumpsteady and his team. So they're not looking at, who's actually more down with the scene. They're looking at, what kind of big names can we get this year?
Word.
And it's just, it's really hard to see the 2015 gathering being so centered around, family. And this most recent gathering, the only real family oriented stage was the Ship of Fools stage, which was run by Clockwork E. For Juggalos by Juggalos. Literally born for Juggalos by Juggalos, you know?
They've been doing Ship of Fools for about 3 or 4 years now.
And this was the first year that it was considered an actual stage.
Yes.
It's painful to see, but also what classic Juggalos got to understand is ICP would probably do a feature with Eminem before they sat in the same room as Twisted again.
Yeah.
It's the painful truth, but you know what? It's the truth that we just gotta accept.
Right.
ICP would rather, I think, do a feature with like Eminem than sit in the same room as Twisted, Blaze, Boondocks, AMB, any of those former psychopathic alumni, or just anybody in MNE as it is.
Right.
They would rather collab with like their worst enemies than sit in the same room as the Magic Ninja Entertainment roster.
They would rather sit with the enemy than former friends, is pretty much.
I heard a quote that it's really prominent in the Juggalo world. You know the sad thing about betrayal? It never comes from an enemy.
No, never does.
ICP and Twisted both had their own certain set of betrayals that have come to this beef. And it's heartbreaking to see, but also Juggalos are going to have to accept that the family heir is gone. We don't get that anymore. No matter how much we beg and pray for another Dark Lotus album, it's not going to happen.
Right. That's why these new artists that are coming in, your Zools, your Low Key's building his own family. It's like kind of like a militia. He's having people drafted and wear gas masks and shit.
Yeah, Mission Infect and all that.
Yeah.
Those are more of the scenes where people are trying to fall into now. Because the Juggalo culture, it's not even a culture. It's just a bunch of people who come together every once in a while. It's like a Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Nobody really likes each other, but they're willing to put up with each other for this one person, or these two people in this case. But people like the Mission Infect army, the LSP fans, the people who go to the Flow, like they go to that because it's more family oriented than, oh, you gotta pay an extra $200 to see Ouija Mac. Would you give us more money for that? A top with the $400 you're paying for the gathering ticket, would you give us more money?
More money?
Like I have a very strong opinion on it, and what I've shared in this interview is it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the tip of my opinions about it, and unfortunately, I can't go into my deep opinions like I have tonight in most of these standpoints because people are going to hate me for it. People are going to hate me for saying People are going to hate me for saying I listen to Twisted. People are going to hate me for saying I can be a fan without having to make my entire life being a fan of that. I am not a Juggalo rapper. That's the thing so many people confuse about me. I am not a Juggalo rapper. I am a rapper who just so happens to be a Juggalo.
That is fair. Like, that's the same thing with Aiden.
There is a major difference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to bring up Juggalo, Insane Clown Posse, Chapter 17 in every single one of my songs to get views. You know, I'm a horrorcore rapper who also just so happens to be a member of the Juggalo family. You know, like I don't have to mention Juggalo in every single one of my albums because that's not the type of fan that I want to be. And that used to be the type of person I wanted to be, but now I'm more of, oh yeah, I'll bring up Juggalo in like one song. I'll more be down to talk about it than to rap about it. That's my standpoint on it.
That's fair.
I'd rather be down to talk about my Juggalo beliefs than to sing about my Juggalo beliefs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I have a lot of very advanced opinions about the people in this culture, and people are going to shun me for it. Oh, man, you're a kid. You don't really know. You do understand. I've been rocking with this scene since I was born. I literally used to fall asleep to Twisted being blared in my ears by my father. That's how I went to sleep for about 5 years. I understand this culture. I've done my research. I don't go off what Big Daddy J tells me to do. I go off of what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I can come with myself. Because juggalos, they're going to tell you things that you want to hear. You know, they're going to be, oh man, Twisted, they screwed over ICP. They wouldn't perform at the march because they were angry at ICP. Because they were angry at ICP for the favoritism. They were willing to play these shows, but there's also a certain price tag to some of these people. Like, yes, I get it was a free show, but don't be mad if somebody turns it down. Because some of these artists, they see shows as more of a paycheck than an actual fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's somebody that you're kind of on the ropes with. But ICP got super mad at Twisted because they wouldn't perform the march. And now we got this. Almost 10 years of beef because Twisted left Psy and then they signed a certain artist. You know? It's painful to see, but at some point, when is the Juggalo family just gonna be like, we can't get this back? We can't. It's hard it's for all of us to accept it because most of us grew up in that era, but all these new age Juggalos who grew up in the ICP Ouija clique area, they're not going to understand. They're just going to go off of what Big Daddy J is telling them to do.
You want to know the day that I stopped believing in what Jay said? Day I was let go from the last label. I equated a lot of the things that Jay was saying to a lot of the things that I was dealing with and a lot of the things that Twisted were dealing with.
Just the limitations and the bindings and the fact that you have to be this certain thing to be on a label. When Sudom becomes a real label, you don't gotta be an artist with tens of thousands of streams and 5 albums to get on Sudom. Oh, you're just a new up-and-coming artist who's really dope? Yeah, I'll give you a chance. And that's what Psychopathic was when it first got started. But then they got this head on them. And all of a sudden, there's these limitations and their contracts. And it's just, it hurts. Yeah, there's still Juggalos who are mad about the Eminem beef. One of my former friends was telling me,
I know a few of them.
I was playing ICP in my dad's car, and he was like, "Man, turn that off." And they were like, "Well, why?" And their dad was like, "Oh, because they got beef with Eminem." First of all, no, they don't. That was squashed a long time ago. They just don't like each other now. They just won't affiliate with each other now. And second of all, you're kind of the weirdo for being all butthurt about a beef.
And it's not even about Eminem. Sure, it's about Paul, his manager.
Mainly. That there's a lot of things that go into that beef that it's hard to talk about. Either way, though, it's just, there are people who get mad at beefs, but you got to come to realize it's not your cross to bear sometimes. You can support either side, but when you start saying, "Oh man, their beef is my beef," whoa there. like all these artists who are throwing themselves into the Twisted ICP beef. Whoa there, pal. You were not a part of this.
You froze.
Why are you? You see me? Yo, we good?
I see you. You just keep freezing. My laptop. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, no, it's my laptop.
Okay, perfect. Either way, there. I forgot what I was. I forgot what I was saying. It's just why are you throwing yourself into a beef that you want? Yeah, you're freezing on my screen too.
I'll be right back.
All right. The man's is glitching.
Working?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We good? Either way. Sorry. I know that I kind of went on a ramble about my opinions of, the Juggalo community. I got a lot of love for Juggalos. I really, really do. I love the whole scene. I was born and raised, but sometimes it's just better to voice your mind and know who your actual friends are rather than to just keep your opinions hidden, and then you got all these like fake friends who only like you because they think you're like. I will admit, I'm a Twisted fan. The last real album that I liked of theirs was Unlikely Prescription. I will say it because it just doesn't feel like Twisted anymore. Everything in this scene is different, and it's a lot of that. It's a whole lot of difference. I love being a Juggalo. I've had so many people in my life who are Juggalos, and so many people who've supported me in my life who are Juggalos and all that, and I get a lot of love from Juggalo rappers, and I thank everyone so genuinely much for all of the love. And that's all I can really say. Thank you. I have my opinions, but thank you. That's all I can really say. I'm not really sure where Komplex went. We good?
Laptop was acting up.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Either way, I was just kind of, making my public apology so the entire Juggalo community doesn't want my head on a platter.
They already hate me, so I doubt I'm going to the gathering.
I mean, I'll go to a gathering. I'll go to a float. I don't care how many Faygo bottles I get thrown at me. Thank you for the shower, my friends.
Yeah.
I'll have my own opinions. I got a lot of love for Juggalos. I love being a part of the Juggalo family, but it's just everyone has their own opinion,
Yes.
And so many of these people will go say, screw Twisted, ICP for life. and then they'll go listen to Most Tasteless, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, but this is back when Twisted was what was the boys. No, you're not sharing your whole opinion on it. That's where all the gatekeeping comes in. And I'd so much rather people learn my opinions, and I don't have any more fake friends who don't want to rock with me anymore because I said that I still like Twisted in 2025.
Right.
I can go all day and say, oh, I am just opinionless about the beef. I'm not. I'm not in the slightest. I will tell you, I don't know.
My whole thing was like, do you want me to take it off the wheel because I didn't want you to deal with any drama.
I don't,
because I know you're dealing with
I don't
a lot of different stuff.
I do not care.
Okay.
As long as I still get love from the people that I want to get love from, I'm chilling. I don't care if the entire gathering community hates me. I'm still going to a gathering every once in a while. I don't care if all of these new age juggalos want my head on a platter. As long as I'm getting support by the people that I truly want to get support from, like LSP and all the family that has been supporting me, that is more who I want to love me more than these new age juggalos who learn my opinions and then leave me behind.
Yeah, you want to hear the ironic thing?
Yeah.
Remember when Jay said 10 juggalos is priceless?
Shaggy quit the show in Memphis. We were gonna go to that show in Memphis, and we found out Shaggy canceled the show. And my dad was more hurt about it than I was, because you're going from, I wouldn't trade 10 juggalos for 100,000 mainstream fans. 10 juggalos is priceless to me, to Shaggy probably not getting enough ticket sales and then being like, oh man, I guess we're not playing there. I even talked to Heathen's son, who was performing at that show as well. They don't even know the real reason that show was cut. I am mainly just theorizing that either Shaggy had fallen ill and he couldn't do the show in Memphis, or they didn't get enough sales and the show was. I don't know. Either way, it was a bummer, but I still got to spend time with my dad, which I was more appreciative of.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, let's gamble more.
That's what's up. All right, let me pull it back up.
Gambling.
Stop. We're almost an hour in. That'd be the last thing. I don't know. I don't have a strict hard timeline and deadline ever. It's whenever you want to stop.
I don't.
Wheel of Names.
I don't care. I have to be. Wheel of Things. Gambling. Let me gamble. Big money.
Yeah. Let's see if it'll work. Big money, big money, big money.
Big money, big money.
We support steak around here. Big money, 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 big money.
Every now and then.
As do I. Dream collab.
What?
What is your dream collaboration?
Oh. That's a good one. Obviously the clowns. Obviously. I think every rapper who is a juggalo aspires to feature the Insane Clown Posse. Probably Scum, which is likely manageable. Probably everybody at the LSP family as of right now. Definitely, one of my main goals is to collab with some of them. But also back to Jelly Roll. I have to say, if I could have the honor to know that his voice is on one of my songs, it would be the ultimate honor.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta say.
Yeah. All right, my turn. Want to do a lot of local guys because, you know, I'm trying to get back into going to stuff for the Upstate Bridge, for the Silent Studios, all the Utica and Syracuse sort of deals. Everyone knows where I am at this point, so whatever. That area. Want to do Doolittle. He did a show with some people, and he had the cops called on him because it was so demented and they weren't used to that in the area. So I want to do one with Doc Doolittle. I also want to do more stuff with Fleshroy Leak, obviously. Dream, like big goal Dream collab, Hobson or Little Darky.
Ooh. I could agree. Especially with Hobson. I could definitely agree on Hobson. Little Darky, he's a hit or miss for me. I still like him, but Hobson, I can agree on that. I feel like me and Tech 9 would bounce back and forth on a track pretty well. Because my lyricism has already been compared to Tech 9, which I'm insanely proud of, you know. But either way, yeah, just the underground artists that I grew up listening to is who I'd collab with.
That's fair. Ouija for me isn't manageable ever now, so I threw that one out the window.
Ouija, if he still did music like Stale Wind era, yeah. But as of right now, no. I like your stuff, buddy. Just maybe slow it down this year.
Me or him?
The Ouija.
Okay.
I was still trying to get into Psychobabble when he announced Temple of Ash.
Right.
Excuse me? Another one.
She Likes My Memes just came out. What do you mean there's 4 more?
makes me cry sometimes. Like Corruptus. Okay, I guess. Anamoya with Darby. I got my opinions on Darby. I'll keep them to myself. But,
we all know where that went with the Cody Manson thing, so that's why it's like
we all know where that went with everybody. Okay. But either way, Dark Planet, not necessarily a fan. You could tell which songs he put effort into and which ones he didn't.
Yeah.
Psychobabble, not my favorite. Not my favorite at all.
Okay.
I gotta say Temple of Ash. I gotta take the cake with Temple of Ash. It's the only one of his albums that I really liked. And even then, you could tell which songs he put effort into and which ones he didn't. But like 7 Deadly Symptoms, like we just go to church to put the body in the basement, like that's my jam right there. But
I rock with it.
Just like no, Devereaux, but chapter 17, oh yeah, like I can't listen to that for 17 songs and genuinely like it.
I can.
Yeah, I know you can, but I can't, unfortunately. And I know people are gonna hate me for that, but like, can I have my opinions too, please?
No, it's not allowed in the Juggalo family.
You're not allowed to hate on Ouija Mac. Okay, leave me alone.
Right.
I will have my opinions. You don't know if I hate Ouija Mac or not. I don't. I have a lot of respect for the guy. I wish he would, maybe not put 5 albums out this year, and deluxe versions about half of them. But I have my own opinions on Ouija, and people don't like when you speak negatively about Ouija. And I'm sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry
fair.
that I'm talking bad about your precious Lord and Savior Ouija Mac. But he's just not the kind of guy. I can't listen to 100 songs of Devereaux producing the beat and Ouija just saying, "Oh yeah, Devereaux, Chapter 17, Juggalo," and genuinely vibe with it. After like the 50th song of all that, I'm just like, yeah, another one. Oh, how many is he gonna pump out in December? I just can't. I can't get into it after 100 songs of it just sounding the same. And one of my friends actually came up to me and was like, "You don't like trap, then, do you? If you don't like Ouija." I didn't say that. I like trap. I don't like Ouija. Well, I take that back. I like Ouija. I don't like some of Ouija's music. I like Ouija. I like Ouija as a
That is
person.
fair.
He's
That
he's
is
a
fair.
very good person. I don't like some of his music. I hate to say it, but I don't.
Yeah, you're
Stale
not gonna.
Wind. It goes from Stale Wind, which was genuinely a masterpiece of an album. Best Ouija lyricism, best lyrics, genuinely just a perfect elemental album, to 17 songs of just the funk beat, Chapter 17, all, yeah, it's done.
That's all it takes. Shit, I'm gonna call Nate. We're making another Bappo and Blondie.
That's all it takes to go platinum? You're telling me you're telling me I don't have to put effort into my music and it'll go further than if I do? Then what have I spent all this time writing my lyrics for?
Right.
You're telling me I can go gold in a week by just saying, "Oh yeah, Chapter 17, yeah, but no. That's all I gotta do? What have I wasted my life for then?"
All I gotta do is get Victory to make some fake Devereaux beats and then get Nate to be the one feature.
What? What?
No, but I do agree. Some of the Ouija stuff, I don't rock with.
And don't bash me in the comments coming out. "Oh man, you just don't like Ouija then. You don't like that real Juggalo."
You read the comments? I don't even read the comments on my own video.
No, like just people like hounding me like, you don't like that real Juggalo music. You don't like that authentic classic Juggalo music. Yes, I do. That's not authentic classic Juggalo music. That is Ouija Mac, who is a new age Juggalo music that I like, but it's not the classics, unfortunately. And I like being able to speak my mind about it because, man, I can't just go around gooning for Ouija all day. That is not what I want to do. I like the direction Chapter 17 is going, but Ouija dropping 5 albums this year kind of feels like a little much.
He has to build the lore, though.
Yeah, the lore of people ruining their bodies for, tattoos of Dark Planet, Psychobabble, and Temple of Ash. Like people just getting 3 extra tattoos on their body for albums that aren't really lore oriented. They're more of like, I just want to carry Psychopathic this year,
Right.
Because ICP, they're putting all their effort in the 6th. They're not going to be releasing a whole lot because it's all going into the 6th. So
Yeah.
what Ouija does, he feels like he needs to carry that hatchet, literally and figuratively. So he's going to outdo himself so that maybe next year he doesn't have to do anything. And honestly, I hope Ouija takes a break this year. Maybe one album near the end of the year. But dude, maybe 5 albums in a year was a little much, especially if you're trying to build the lore.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I that's pretty much what I did, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. Is okay, maybe that amount of music was a bit too much for me. I'm gonna focus on the one October album,
Right.
and that is going to release at a show.
Right. And that's the thing. Also, you got to look at quality over quantity.
Yes.
Quality over quantity is something that I've had to look at my entire musical career. I can just go get some beats from Hatchet or Roy or Kicks or however you say his name or Warhawk, and I can or Optic even, and I can go record 5 albums right now,
Right.
but it's not gonna sound good.
Right.
It's all going to end up just sounding the same. And all of a sudden, nobody likes my music because I've already put out 5 albums this year. And people are like, oh man, what happened to Nuclear Winter era Tiny Tim TJ? I'm right here. I just released too much and now y'all don't like me.
That's fair.
But I mean, okay. I want to talk about my albums now since we're on our last Wheel of Stuff thing. Okay. I say this humbly. I don't say this with pride. I don't say, I dropped the best album of the year. No, I didn't.
Did. Oh.
Nah. Lyricism-wise, I dropped my best album of the year. Quality-wise,
yeah.
These babies. I love these things. I wish I would have got them when I started recording Nuclear Winter. These things are what I recorded Injured Good and Biohazard. Screw it. Biohazard releasing February 2024. It is a continuation of Nuclear Winter. It pretty much takes place in the dystopian wasteland that I caused, and it's an 8-song thing. I'm pretty sure I haven't counted. Well, it's an 8-track 6-song thing. It pretty much just takes place in the eyes of the people who are affected by my blast. And this is what I used to record them. And it
sounds... Is that a Turtle Beach? Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Those things are godsends, dude.
Dude, it sounds so good. And I will give it to the old headphones. They're really good for like gaming and stuff. Mm-hmm. But for recording and all that, where I can manipulate my microphone so I'm not breathing into the microphone the whole time, so I don't have to put the microphone 2 inches from my face for it to pick me up.
Right.
You know, like it, and plus I can master things now. Oh, it makes things sound so much better. Man, this Biohazard EP is about to sound perfect. And the Injured Good. Me and Fang, we're cooking on this album, man. He's got 3 more verses to record. I've got 1. And it's dropping by the end of January. I don't necessarily know when, but just know that before January 31st, this EP will be dropping, and it's going to be great. I use different mastering. I use different mixing. I use different beats. That's the thing. Kicks, he is like a dark trap producer, but I usually, just do that classic horrorcore thing. So I kind of have to sound like this the whole album, and like it actually ends up sounding pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we saw from A Fatal Operation, I can work on those type of beats. It's not my favorite type of beat to work on, but I can do it. And you know what? I got an EP and a semi-album dropping within 2 months. And then screw you all, I'm leaving you behind until like June. I'm kidding. I will still be releasing music up June or July is when I probably have my next big project coming up. And it's not a me album. It's a supergroup album. TBA. That's TBA. I have 2 supergroup projects planned this year, but they're both going to be great. Beep.
I can't say anything. I know some of it. I can't say anything.
I have 1 album one big album planned for this year. It's coming out in I'm just gonna like say it right now because I don't really care. It's probably coming out in between November, late October, sometime in November.
Right.
That's what I'm looking at because I got to get the beats. There's some features that I want on it that are big money, like.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm gonna have to save up some funds for this album.
Mm-hmm.
I've already locked in one. I've got like 6 or 7 more that I truly just gotta lock in. That's the thing. There were some pretty big artists that I wanted to feature on this album, but I just couldn't. You know why? Because I gave them practically no time. I only started recording Nuclear Winter in October. That's not a lot of time for artists to hop in the studio and record their own verse, especially if they want to do multiple takes, mixing, mastering. If they want to do all of that, it's probably going to take a good couple weeks. So, for this album, I plan to get my beats as early as freaking possible. As early as possible. Get them from Warhawk, get them from Optic, get them from Kicks, get them from Hatchet, get them from Roy.
Right.
Any producer that will give me something, I encourage you to do so because I want this album to be like 30 songs.
You froze. Okay.
I want this album to be like 30 songs. But if I want it to be 30 songs, I might need to get those 30 songs. And it's a really 30 tracks. I'm a limit myself to 30 tracks because I'm gonna want at least 2 skits in this album. Plus, the intro and outro are usually skits. So it's just at a standpoint of, you know, I gotta make all this, and I'm wanting people on the skits as well. It's a whole lot, but you know what? I'm gonna do it because I'm Tiny Tim TJ. I can do what I want.
Facts.
Within reason.
Yeah.
I can't just go around, destroying things. But I can destroy some mics, and hopefully this year I'll destroy some stages.
I fucking agree with you wholeheartedly.
Float 2025 Tiny Tim TJ performance. Ooh, I will put that down as a maybe. I'm not going to put that down as it's not happening. I'm going to put it down as a maybe, but it might not be a full set. Unfortunately, I just don't have I don't have the funds this year, especially since I can only get a job in May and the float's in June. I'm already trying to save like $600 for this float. It's not an unreasonable goal, but you got to think with submission with oh well, I'm gonna keep talking anyways. With the float being in June this year, and I'm only saving up for a month, so I'm not gonna be able to save up the $250 for the ticket and the float, and I want to spend some money on merch, so that's gonna make merch sales another problem, and then if I want to chip in for gas, food, water, like. I need to save up some sufficient money for this album, which might mean giving up a chance to perform,
Yes. That's fair. There you go.
We have finished my monster. I got donuts though, so we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly. Let me see if I can. There we go. And we're back.
Let's see if you can appear back on screen.
Right.
I'm gonna shove all my hair in my jacket. I feel naked without it, but screw it. Who cares at this point?
I care. Right. Shit. I closed out the wheel so that I can make sure that we can hear each other.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh, now look bald.
Here's the. Right. I'm gonna ramble a bit about usurpers, corporate greed. Then you can pick, I don't know, story time, I guess, and then we'll be wrapping this up. So everyone knows that I have to get my corporate shilling out with the Usurper's Corporate Greed. October-ish is when it's coming out. But your boy still needs to lock in with Nate again. Because Nate is the one consistent feature on every album.
Yeah. Except for Barnum and Body Bags for some reason. What happened with that? Why wasn't he featured on Barnum and Body Bags? A question for you. Oh, he's gone. Usurper's Corporate Greed. Keeps acting up on you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can just film a whole new video for that. If you want to go into story time and put you on the spot, and then, we'll wrap up.
All right, shoot. So what is story time? Just so I can get an idea of what I want to talk about. That looks weird, but it's fun.
You want, we can just wrap up.
No, it's fine. I'll do a story time. But I would like to know what it entails. Can I just talk about anything? I'm good. I'll do a story time.
Man, I love commenting back and forth because my computer won't work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. Love it.
Right. We're going to have to fix this before Aiden's up.
I mean, good to work out the kinks, though. Can I just talk about anything?
Yeah, I really don't care. Do whatever you want.
All right, perfect. All right, perfect.
I put you on the spot.
So the reason for my hair. Let's talk about that. For anybody that hasn't been paying attention for the last hour and a half, I have unreasonably long hair. It's for anybody that just haven't been paying attention. I got a whole lot of hair. Hangs down to nearly almost much of my LSP charms. So I got two reasons for that. Number one, I hate the barber. I've always hated the barber. I don't know. They just really, really like to mess up my hair and my social life. So yeah, we might not be doing a barber again for a good long while. And also, it's just a legacy at this point. Like, I haven't cut my hair since I think just after the gathering of the Juggalos 2023. That means I have not cut my hair in nearly 2 years. I have not cut this mop of hair in almost 2 years, and I'm not going to stop that. You know what? Unless somebody forces me to cut my hair, which I don't think anybody's going to, I can just put it in a ponytail and we'll be good for the day. But unless somebody absolutely forces me to cut my hair, this mop will not be going away. I love my hair. I really do. I hate my hair sometimes, especially when it gets in my mouth while I'm trying to eat. But I still, it's become my trademark at this point.
Yes.
Like, if you see me, first thing you're probably going to see is this mop. Like, you're probably not even going to recognize my face. You're going to recognize my mop of hair.
Right.
And, just the fact of I hate the barber. And the fact of it's, just my legacy of my hair continuously getting longer since I started being an artist. I don't think that I will be cutting my hair until it gets down to like my elbow.
Yeah.
Elbow. I don't think I'm going to cut my hair until it gets down to that length, Because that point, that's a little too much hair. But right now, I'm content with where my hair's at. And at least I'm keeping it clean, you know?
Yeah.
I got a lot of hair, but I keep it clean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my story time.
Okay, thank you for story time. I think it's now time to head to bed. I'm gonna give me 1 second, actually.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna thank everyone who put up with me and enjoyed the company of Tiny Tim, TJ, whatever you want to call him. If you want, there's links in the description of the YouTube video. So links for me and links for TJ. And that's about it. Any last words you want to say?
Thank y'all very much for coming on. The Injured Good EP and Biohazard coming soon. So please keep out for that and look out for the Usurper's Corporate Greed coming out whenever it comes out. I don't really know.
Yeah. I have the date and everything. I have to plan the show.
That's fair.
Alrighty.
All right.
Peace.
You have a good night.